Hi, welcome to the Get Started videos. I want to speak a little bit about the scale to help you understand why it is presented the way it is and how to use it. So the first thing we do is we play one note and then there are three notes rest and then the next note comes in. So in music you have long notes and it's important to learn how to hold them the right length of time before you go on to the next. So while you're holding that long note, you're counting the beats underneath. And you're actually doing two things at once. That takes a little bit of getting used to, and the people who do it really well find that they can play songs better and learn them faster. The little fine-tuning part of that is that in order to play music fast, it's important to be coordinated. You don't want to lock down. And so there's a releasing that goes on. And in the music world, what a conductor will do is they will very often give you the last beat before you come in. And I'd recommend that over time you learn how to do that. And what I call that is the preparation or getting ready. And so you play the note, you relax for 2 beats, and then you get ready 1 beat before you come in. So 2, 3, prepare. Okay? That's how that's designed. And even if you do it for like 20 seconds, but you do it on a regular basis, your muscles get used to engaging at a particular time in rhythm, and that builds good coordination. So that's why that is the way it is, all right? And we do then twice as fast with half notes, so the preparation is that 1 beat between t, t, right? So the release becomes the preparation. You're letting go on 2 and you're preparing for the next thing. When you get to the quarter notes, that would be the most similar in many ways to how people think about music. It's going through their head, the melody is going through their head, and it's coming out their fingers. It's like 1 for 1. And then as you get into the more advanced chapters, you'll be introduced to eighth notes, which is 2 beats or 2 notes for every beat. 1, 1, 1, 1. So 1 being the beat, and then 2 notes grouped. And then in the 10 through 12 chapters, 1, 1, 1, 1. And so those divisions are where you're feeling groups of notes under 1 beat. In chapter 7 through 9, you do lots of songs that are in groups of 3. Right? And that covers the main things that you're going to face in the first about 3 to 5 years of your practice. What I'd suggest that you consider is that you just run through the scale and the warm-ups with those videos in the beginning to get an idea. You will eventually be able to memorize the scale. Then when you go on to the echo, I'd suggest to you that you make up your own echo, because then you can decide how fast or slow. You can decide what notes you're going to use. You get to how many notes there are, right? And then you get to determine what's going on there. And when you get to the jam, also make up your own. So the recordings of the echo will help your note reading, particularly if you want to do that. It helps you learn to play by ear too, if you just don't look at the notes and listen, right? Then with the jam, it's the idea that music is sharing a feeling, and the feeling builds off of this steady beat. So with the jam, the idea is that you're just going to kind of talk. You're just going to talk with the phrases, the musical words, the notes that are going to come in your songs. So with 2 to 4 minutes of the basics, when you go to learn the song, you've already come across the notes many, many times. You've created your own little melodies, and you've learned to talk a bit with that vocabulary, when you go to the song, it's generally a very specific thing, right? These notes in this order with these groups of fast and slow. And so you have lots to figure out. And on the piano, you have to figure out how to use both hands, right? On the violin, it's the bow and the fingers. On the guitar, the fingers and the pick, or the right hand. So there's lots of things that people face when they go to learn a song. If you leave out the warm-ups, it's not like you can't do it. But one of the ways that the lessons are designed is that you get to see the different parts that come together to create the song. And then the first chapter, it's notes with, or songs with 5 notes. And then the next chapter, it's notes with 6. We go up to 8. And then we introduce the 8th notes, because most songs have combinations of fast and slow. Then you spend time with waltzes and jigs, groups of 3. And the last 3 chapters, for a lot of people, that would be something that they would approach in the second half of their first year, or even as far down the road as they're halfway through their second or even third year, depending on what kind of materials they're facing. Okay, so it aims to be a broad spectrum using songs that most people know, all right? And if you find that the songs are just plain too hard, consider going to a method book. So they have method books for every instrument, really. And what it does is it presents, instead of like 3 songs with this one idea, you'll see 8 or 9 songs with this one idea. So it slows down how hard the songs progress. And if you really want to challenge yourself, the Suzuki method, it goes very, very quickly up the learning curve. And they're relying on you learning to play by ear. So they're not really intending for you to know how to read those songs. They want you to hear them and play them. And with this particular group of songs, you can do a combination of playing by ear and then reading, right? So it's set out to be somewhere in the middle for you. And just the last thing before you go, I really recommend that people do the scale as it is and leave it, because you'll build confidence in your coordination. When you get to the echo and you get to the jam, make those up. Make those up on your own, because it'll give you the inside out playing, where the music is coming from inside of you and it is being projected out, which is a little different than just imitating a video or a recording. Okay? Thank you very much.